Welcome to week 15. We only have 2 more weeks left to go. Aren't you excited? The end is in sight. So, what I learned in the discussions last week is that you guys all think the lymphatic history is the same, and I actually agree with you. So, try to find something unique. So, in the tonsils, there's crypts. In the ileum, there's villi. In the spleen, it doesn't look like anything. So try to find unique things on those. The digestive histology was all over the place, what you didn't like. And for respiratory system, if it's a small, single, round sac, it's a alveoli. I will not ask you cross-sections of bronchioles or bronchi. If it is a tube that is thin, it's an alveolar duct. If it is thick, it's a bronchiole. So I'm going to make the histology there easy for you. You guys did not like the lab book pages, especially this one right here. Right here, number 16. I got so many different answers. Many of you were talking about the vocal folds, what you looked up online right here. I was going for the glottis. Apparently, the glottis was not on the picture up here. So, I am sorry to do that. You guys absolutely hated this picture too. And I think the problem was everything here is just so small. And I created a total and complete monster. This 15 is the hepatic artery. 7 is the hepatic portal vein. 6 is the cystic duct. 8 is the bile duct. Isn't it so much nicer when I zoom in on it? I am so sorry to do. On these pictures, you got the salivary glands right here. This gland is the sublingual gland. This gland is the submandibular gland. Some of you swapped those up. This is the lingual tonsil. This is the palatine tonsil, and this is the pharyngeal or adenoid tonsil. So these two pictures might be on the quiz coming up this week on respiratory and lymphatics because I decided to throw the oral cavity in because just 2 other structures. Lecture and lab are short. Urinary system lecture, urinary system lab. There are 5 parts of it. These 3 parts are very, very, very important. You need this basis going into physiology. What are the parts of the nephron? What do they do? What is the blood flow? It's actually important for the little tiny vessels up by the nephron, but there will be a tracing blood in and out of the kidney. And then what are the regions of the kidney? We'll then talk about the ureters and bladder and the urethra. And I think I'd spend about 10 minutes actually doing a quiz and review questions here on the end of this video. In addition to trace the path of blood through the kidney, there's going to be a trace the path of urine out of the kidney. Your follow-up is going to be lab book questions. I think by now you've figured out I wrote all those questions in the lab book actually as lecture follow-ups for my face-to-face class. So that is why we're doing that as a follow-up. So we're going to do pinning on complete anatomy for both the male pelvis and the female pelvis. I'm sorry, the female pelvis is really just the pelvis. It doesn't put the rest of the body on. And I want you to label the structures, see where they are. I actually like complete anatomy for this, so it really shows where all these structures are related to each other. And be wary who is in the room when you watch the video. And when you're doing this, see age-restricted video. You are going to see genitalia in the video. I am sorry. Here, we are doing histology. Now, the ureter histology, wow, mucosal, submucosal, muscularis, and adventita. Yes, I'm just repeating it to make sure you understand it. I will use the esophagus slide. For here, I want you to draw the glomerulus. I want several proximal convoluted tubules. Key point, they have cuboidal epithelial with microvilli, and they tend to be large. Then some distal convoluted tubules. That is what you need to know for the histology slide on the last lab quiz. The other structures in it, I wouldn't expect you to spot them right off the bat, so it's really going to be distal convoluted tubule, proximal, or glomerulus. Then we're going to look at models. I'm going to send you to my webpage for the rotating models. It has both urinary and reproductive. The reproductive models will talk about urinary structures in about the first 3 to 5 minutes of it before going on to the reproductive structure. So watch that, rotate the model, see where everything is. Then you're going to go to the mass of our models. Large kidneys, glomerulus, major organs. We have 4 different models with the major organs. And then the vessels. The vessel model is actually the same as the large kidney model. But here I was focusing on kidney structures. So seeing no vessels, I guess 1 vessel. And that arcuate artery basically is telling you the border. Whereas this one, I'm talking about the vessels. If you want to drive yourself crazy, look at the nephron model in the textbook on page 190. I have asked every single one of my students, and it's unanimous, they hate this model. So I'm not going to touch you on that model, just gives you an idea of what the nephron actually looks like. Then follow up page 197, 190, 193, and upload everything in one place. Our discussion is due Sunday. We are not going to talk about sex. We're going to talk about everything else about this week except for sex. Your quiz this week is on the lymphatic and respiratory system. Remember, I will ask the salivary glands in there as well, and this is due Friday. Discussion is due Sunday. This is our second to last discussion. Discussion 15. Discussion 16 is, what did you learn? So I'll send out a second email this week with the reproductive system. So I will see you on Wednesday. Thank you.